You do not lie, underling. It is your blood I am destined to spill. Your death spit will stain these walls, little lamb. Your murder should have been exquisite. A crypt-born effigy to greet Baal's bleeding dawn. And now it will be nothing.
Oh, shut up. Let's get this over with.
Come to me, Father. Set my flesh to your unholy purpose.
Slayer. She's become the Slayer. Fine.
A metallic tongue fills the air as the Slayer's form is drained of life. As she stretches, blood to blood, you have robbed another god of his chosen.
Orin is dead. I have all 3 stones, and the Elder Brain is about to break free, since the dead 3 are no longer keeping the creature in check. Oh, and we rescued Minsc, and I believe that I made Jaheira quite happy. As usual, I aim to please my friends and companions. Happy companions make good allies, it would seem. Now, I just have to speak to Minsc and get to know him a little better, since he's now our newest companion. Odd that the Emperor was so against bringing him into the fold. He must have sensed a lot of chaos within Minsc. Going by Jaheira, grandmother, and the stories told of Minsc, I know there is a good, decent person in there somewhere. He just needs help to bring him back out. Remember, he's been controlled and confused by the Absolute for who knows how many months now. I look forward to coming to know this hero of old. I think grandmother would be ecstatic that we saved him. Word is that the Zhentarim are going to try and take out Ninefingers and her guild. I owe no loyalty to her, as all I have done is help her, and she's done nothing in return, but I don't look for things like that. I help people, even if they don't reciprocate. I am sure, however, that she will be thankful for any assistance we could provide to them. Which means we'll have to hurry and go to the Thieves' Guild as soon as we can. We seem to have gathered many different allies now. I just hope that they will all be there for the city when the time comes to fight the Elder Brain. We really could have used Ansur, but that will never be. I don't know what will happen when the Elder Brain is completely freed, but it will, just like the battle with Orin, where she turned into the Slayer, be very unpleasant. The entire city may be able to see it with their own eyes. This thing does float, you see. Add in red dragons with Githyanki riding them through the sky, Dame Aelin flying through the air, and Illithids floating about. I don't suppose this fight will be kept quiet. I expect mass chaos of the likes which I have only ever read about. Gods be with us, for we shall need it. Right, before we leave, Minsc has a lot to recall as what he was, the beloved ranger. Wow. Ranger. He was going with 2-weapon fighting, but when grandmother knew him. Though he's changed his ways since. He's going with a 2-handed weapon. Subclass Hunter. Hunter. Horde Breaker. He's quite skilled, so this may take a while. Feat. Well, he was never the smartest, now was he? But he was unbelievably strong. At least he used to be. He showed that when he broke out of that mimic. Favored enemy. Studying the tactics and abilities of certain creatures has granted him the set of abilities that is useful in a variety of situations. Armor proficiency, heavy armor, ranger knight. Would urban tracker be best? Fire damage is always Wasteland Wanderer. Always helpful. Fire resistance, I should say. Defensive tactics. Faced with enemies that can instill dread, attack in frenzies bursts, and swarm in great numbers, rangers eventually develop cunning methods of defense. Minsc is very difficult to be frightened. New feat. Well, what else would it be? Spells. Lightning arrow. Favorite enemy. Keeper of the Veil. He specializes in hunting creatures from other planes of existence. He's proficient in Arcana, can cast protection from evil and good. Natural Explorer. Urban Tracker. Wasteland Wanderer. Cold. Resistant to cold. He may be... I've lived in the city for a while, but he is known for living in the outdoors. Conjure Barrage. And finally,
what to do?
Right, what to do? Let's get the hells out of here. Return to camp.
These boots have seen everything.
Line combat. Yeah, I've seen Lamb. Armor of Devotion. Splint. We have armor. We're gonna have to give Minsc fit him with proper weaponry. Let's see what we can do. Yeah. Alright, Minsc has been equipped as best as we can. Oh, that's Minsc.
All's well that ends. Well, not as bad as it could have.
Another ball spawn buried by our hand. Ball should learn better than to send his offspring against us. They might as well be babes, dropped bare bottom into the Rashiman winter.
Do you remember why you were meeting with the Zhentarim?
So dark an alliance sealed with Zentish contracts, cultish vows, and a dragon's shining horde. You think Minsc could forget? You are correct. I have no idea what any of that was about. But we shall simply... Ooh, why do you gnaw at my soft parts? I am trying to... Once again, in smaller words? I see. This truth you seek. Boo believes that Minsc is knowing more than Minsc knows. But it is a difficult thing. There are memories of this time that Minsc does not remember. And Boo suggests that, just as he helps with tricksome itches in awkward places, you must reach what Minsc cannot. The parasite. You can use it to tickle free whatever truth you seek.
Ah, I see. Right, you want to do that? You do sound reluctant.
The worm has already whipped me around the city like a slack-backed pony. I have no wish to saddle myself a second time. But if it cannot be Boo who pops inside my skull for a rummage, then I trust you. Or Jaheira, but she is currently possessed of an empty head.
That's right, she doesn't have a tadpole. Right, I'll reach out to, I guess, gather everything from your mind, since you cannot articulate it.
At first, there is nothing. His mind is empty as a still expanse of open country.
Sort of like Gortash's father.
Then... your face, the Stone Lord's face, mirrored in bloodied steel. In the heat of burning buildings, you hold your blade high above pale, frightened faces.
No, that is not right. I slew only monsters. The voice said that they were monsters.
A whisper. The Absolute's voice, twisting the petty guild thieves before you into snarling, savage beasts, feeding on the weak of your city.
The guild. The Stone Lord hunted them, peeled away their rotten ranks one by one to lay bare their corrupt heart. 9 fingers keen. That is what the Absolute bought Black Zentish Steel to do. To kill the Guildmaster.
Well, I already knew this. We'd better get to the guild hall before the battle is done.
Until Minsc arrives, the battle has not even begun. Whatever strangeness you believe you saw, there is only one simple truth in
Okay,
Minsc's
yes,
mind.
the Absolute convinced you that they're
cult
monsters.
is evil. The guild is evil. And Minsc fights evil. If you cannot believe his words, then watch his doings. We will foil the Zentish plot, and then we will show 9 fingers the 5 fingers of Minsc.
No,
Yes.
no, that's not what we want. You seem keen to forget that this was all your doing.
Minsc has forgotten nothing. Once we are done with the undoing of his deeds, then we will speak of this Stone Lord.
Well, that's a start, I suppose. We're going to need you, Jaheira, to come with us. I suppose you can take over
I
from...
would be lying if I told you I was certain we would walk out of that temple alive. We faced Baal there once before, and I was not ready to count on luck a second time. But luck had no part in it. Just you. That is both chosen beaten, and their stones wrested from their grasp. But where they fall, the Elder Brain rises.
Yes, I know.
It is already worming its way free. We must find it before it slips its collar, whether we are ready or not.
Every time we kill one of the Chosen, the Elder Brain rises up in strength. Right, join me.
You'll need to free up your ranks a little first.
Take Shadowheart's place.
Then let us be about it.
So Lae'Zel... Maybe we should get to Starion.
One day I'll catch a break.
For now. Lae'Zel, Gale,
So,
and Shadowheart.
we can add one bald wall of muscle to our little group. I'm
be-
sure he'll come in handy. Maybe as a doorstop.
Will be the ones that I bring against the Elder Brain. Okay, I need you in my party. Will you travel with us?
Well, obviously I would. But you have so many followers already. I wouldn't want to crowd you.
Take Lae'Zel's place.
Well, in that case, I'm all yours.
Right, this seems to be good enough. Let's go and see if we can't rescue Nine Fingers. Keen? I don't think that we need to rest. Heapside Strand is close, is it not? Let's go. Could always go into the sewers, that way. Where is it? Yeah, the Guildhall entrance, right nearby. This is where one of the assassination targets is. The city is...
Here goes nothing.
All the Raven Guard should be able to take control now, with the Chosen gone. But I don't know what's happening with the Absolute. Obviously, I'm not giving them commands. It is perhaps the Elder Brain that's controlling them completely now. I thought, you know, the Absolute army would be done, but I think it's gone to the Elder Brain, truth be told. All the illithid tadpoles in their brains. Who else is going to control them? It's not like I'm giving them commands. I command the Elder Brain, but that doesn't seem to be doing anything right now. Okay, so we're to aid the Underduke. There's another name for Nine Fingers.
Hold it there! Bad time to come visiting, my friend. This is Zhentarim territory now.
I see.
Just as soon as we've purged it of guild rats. Nothing personal.
The city's ransom I'm paying you, not enough.
Looks like we've wandered into a battle. Alright, kill all the Zhentarim. I don't think that there's any up here. They're down here. Okay, so I see my target. Well, Astarion does, at least. Let's see, is there any tough ones nearby? A few of them.
Just like old times. Let's go.
He has a new dagger, the one from Orin. Just like, Minsc is wielding Saravox's great sword. Excuse me. Right. Path is interrupted. Bolt of Celestial Light. Wow. So they're coming from this side. I think Nine Fingers was smart to keep them in their own area instead of just letting them infiltrate all throughout so they could just take out everyone they wanted. Nine Fingers wasn't stupid. Isn't stupid. She's still going to be alive. We're going to rescue her. Great big wolf over there.
Understood.
One down. Can we... I don't think we can jump from here.
I won't
Not
give in.
without Featherfall. I don't think. No, I can jump. I'm tough. Bit of a big jump, but let's see. What kind of a smite can I use? Radiant Smite, that's it. And that's no good against the living. However, I could use a potion, but once I jumped, it's... I mean a poison, not to say.
Someone hold Boo. He will not enjoy the bumpings to come.
Bardic Inspiration. Oh. That's Nine Fingers herself. She's throwing daggers, is she? Yeah. Nine Fingers. To make sure she stays alive.
Outmaneuver them.
Oh, why is that on fire? It's a little weird. That one is very dangerous. We need to remove it. Finish this one off.
I take no joy in this.
Good. One's done.
Survival is all that matters.
Well, I guess it's time for me, unless I can get down there. I think they almost have this handled. Yeah, I can really hurt myself. We just use our ranged attacks. The guild has a Zhentarim on the run. Even if we didn't come, I think that'd be okay. Maybe the absolute was to help them? Will we stop that? I don't know. Just seems like they have this handled. Wasn't anywhere near as bad as I thought it would be. Another malice. Longbow, drow poison.
Moving in.
Carrion crawler tentacle. Nasty. Use it for alchemy. There's that one over there I would like to loot. If I can. Yeah, the guild is a lot tougher than I thought they were. Purple worm toxin. Keep an eye on Rugen. Carson. Rugen is no longer reliable. I'm making you the Southern District Deliveries Manager, effective next 10 day, unless Rugen retires earlier than that, if you know what I mean. O for the Zhentarim. Let's see what else we can get. After spending a few thousand gold on getting Minsc equipment, wouldn't mind recuperating some of that lost gold. Life has tried to push me down, make me crawl when I should fly, but I won't be stilled, and when I'm killed, I'll be looking at the sky. Oh, she was. She is looking at the sky, such as it is down here. Yeah, I don't think they stood a chance. Some of them are rather powerful, but there just wasn't enough of them. The worst thing that could happen is if there were a lot of them, right? And purple worm gullet, I'll take that chemical ingredient. And they infiltrated into strategic positions and took out the guild. Especially the higher up guild leaders. And then finished off the rest of them. But Nine Fingers did not allow that. I actually thought that everyone who was wearing green was Zhentarim. I guess not. You
Something's
okay?
on my mind.
You won't catch me looting all that shiny Zhent armor. I'd rather go into battle bare-assed.
Okay. So I thought they were all Zhentarim, but I guess they're not. Let's go speak to Nine Fingers. This should be interesting. And I hope, pray to Morning Lord, that Minsc keeps us cool. After all, Jaheira's with us. Nine Fingers.
Kind of you to take the Zhentarim down first. That doesn't make us friends. Come on then, Stone Lord. If you mean to take my chair, you'll get no better chance than this.
Minsc has no interest in your furniture, Nine Fingers. Only in the wicked rump that fills it.
What?
You have been a stone in this city's boot for too long. And it will be no Stone Lord who reaches twixt Baldur and sticky toes to dislodge you. It will be Minsc!
I haven't got the slightest idea what he's trying to say.
Probably a good thing.
Proof that he is back to normal, no?
Okay. Let's come clean. I'll explain it all. The tadpole, the absolute. This time it's the Stone Lord.
The same sorry tale as yours, then? Well, bizarre as it is, it explains how this idiot wound up serving the dead three. Good. I'd rather you die as Minsc, the mad Rashimar. It's silly, but... do you know? You were something of a hero of mine when I was young.
Even now, your tongue twists the truth.
Minsc.
You are young and ten-fingered still. Minsc and Boo were stone, instatuated on a city square.
Aye. I remember the spot. By a garden on the Wide. A soft thicket near the market, with ample pockets to pick. Celestia itself to a street rat looking for shelter. You might not have been wrestling monsters, but you kept the wind and the rain off. Heroic enough for me.
Bah! You tried to dampen Boo's eyes. Do not think you will be spared his teeth. Evil is evil. Even if it was once innocent.
Minsc, just
I
let
know
it go.
innocent. But evil? Well, you tell me. With the Fist, the Watch, and the Council itself all licking the Absolute's boots, who's the only one left standing to protect Baldur's Gate?
She's right, Minsc. She's been an ally down through the years. A friend, even.
A friend? Jaheira, Boo cannot believe his ears. Has the city fallen so far in our absence? Are there no heroes left?
Heroes come and go. But the Guild has always been here, protecting the city. Until the Stone Lord came to break us.
She's right. The Guild will fight for the city. We just have to let them. I guess I'm trying to persuade Minsc.
I am shamed. Nadeshka. Unworthy to fight alongside my friends. Boo, what am I to do?
I can't speak for your rodent, but I know something of debts. If you reckon you've got one to repay, well, we could always work together.
With you? Pfft. Minsc has no lust for gold. That he would shake grandmothers by their ankles, or set Boo nibbling at their purse strings.
I'm not talking about that. We've both got bigger enemies than one another. The city's enemies. And Tyr's honest truth, you gave my guild the wake-up call it needed. We've grown complacent, lazy, too sure of our standing. We never would have needed the Zhent if we'd had a fighting force of our own. Swords for the city when the Watch and the Fist fail us.
Like a berserker lodge of my homeland. No army or militia serving the local lords, but heroes working for the common good.
Heroes. Sure.
Very well. Minsc and Boo accept.
I'm sorry, you what?
Boo and I will be your berserker lodge, taking the ugly ways of your guild and beating them into a more virtuous shape.
That's not even slightly what I was saying. I wasn't asking.
You are right. I have proven myself unworthy. I cannot serve this city if I was so easily turned against it. If I do not know my own mind, perhaps I no longer know what is good.
We need to focus on the Absolute. You can negotiate your alliance afterwards.
You have planted a burr in my brain, Guildmaster. Once I have dislodged the worm and redeemed myself in my hamster's eyes, we will return to this matter.
My door is always open, Stone Lord.
It may be late, but it would be nice to have the Guild on our side against the Elder Brain. And now that I've considered that they will have control over the Absolute, they're going to have a lot of numbers. All around the city and outside. That's what the Elder Brain will be using to try to take over everything. So, gather my allies. Nine Fingers is grateful that we helped her retain control of the Guild. She does not want to give away what's hers. We can count on her and her lady's court in the final battle. We helped the Nine Fingers defeat Zhentarim. We should speak to the Guildmaster. Well, we already did. We can speak to her again. Well, now that that's Minsc and you have been dealt with.
Suppose I should have seen that coming. Zhentarim aren't known for their loyalty, but I thought the bastards would keep to their contract at least. I'm too nice for my own good, I suppose. But I was in a pit, and you helped pull me out. For that, I'm grateful. You'll have what guild blades I can give when the time to take the Absolute comes. So, just tell me what you need to get us there.
That story you told Minsc, was any of it true?
You can't just swallow every bit of storybook tripe that you hear.
Obviously.
Do I strike you as a little lost girl looking for a hero? Now lose the stupid look on your face and tell me what you need.
Attitude. What can I do to help you? Anything else?
Kill the Absolute. And keep the big bull berserker out of trouble. We'll find out if either of those things is possible.
Right, so information would be nice.
Knowing what I know usually comes at a cost. But let's say we'll put it on your tab.
We're allies, are we not? How's your fight against the Absolute going?
Which part? The Stone Lords hollowed this place out. Half my crews are fled or in hiding. When the Absolute's army arrives to wage war on the city, our best hope is to make sure they have no leaders in here willing to open the gates for them.
You and Jaheira are an odd pairing. How do you know one another?
We've crossed paths over the years. Two hands trying to steer the city. Just not always in the same direction. Ugh, can't stand harpers as a rule, but Jaheira's the exception. She's only really half a harper at most.
You mean that as a compliment? I am sure.
The same way I'm not just the lowly thief, vagabond, and murderer the Watch and peers would paint me as. I happen to be a fine singer, too.
Fine singer. I'd like to know more about the guild.
Thieves, frauds, and miscreants. If it's just the Watch warrants you're reading. The guild isn't any one thing. We're everything. All the parts of the city the Watch don't want seen, so they push us to the far side of their law. But it's not the Watch that keeps the peace, or gives justice to any Baldurian who asks, whether they can pay for it or not. It's us. If we take a little tribute in return, or tie strings of service to those we help, well, what of it? So long as we're working as one, it all runs quick, quiet, and clean.
That's a very utopian way of saying you're a gang of petty thugs.
If you'd prefer to trust in the Watch, the Council, the Parliament of Peers, by all means. They're the pretty face slapped over the city. But the Guild is the blood, the bone, the gristle, the ugly bits that actually make Baldur's Gate move.
Odd.
We'll be the ones still holding the gate when all those others have fled.
My father was part of the Shadow Thieves. They maybe use the same justification in Athkatla that she does here in Baldur's Gate for their activities. Right, well, thank you, Non-Fingers. We have new allies, which we needed. Last moment allies. But, I think we should go sell what we have, and then have one more final night of rest before we go and confront the Elder Brain.
Boo is trying his best to explain, but I still do not understand your anger.
Do not hide behind your hamster, Ranger.
What
You do
now?
not understand because you do not listen. We were the first to discover the cult. And if you had only waited, we might have marshaled our numbers and...
What
Good
happened?
does not wait for evil to button up its breeches. When it offers buttocks for the smacking, Minsc and Boo greet cheek with hand.
Enough. What's this about?
I would like to see if a lesson has been learned. This mess falls on our heads, Minsc. The city under siege, its people poisoned by the cult. It all might have been avoided if you had just put your feelings aside and listened.
I kind of agree with Jaheira. It's also true. The trail would have ended there instead of leading you to Ketheric, the prison, me. Minsc in a way made a sacrifice, now that I think about it, even though that wasn't his intention. He just charged in as his usual self.
I have seen too much to believe destiny has taken our side. Blind luck, perhaps. The point remains. You meant well, Minsc. But you exposed the city to harm. You helped the cult spread. And worse, perhaps than any of this, you forced me to leave you behind.
But this is where Minsc falls short of the understanding, Jaheira. What else is a berserker for, if not to charge into danger ahead of his Wicklaren?
The Wicklaren, wise women of Rashomon, each bonded to a berserker bodyguard for life. There is no higher title, nor deeper bond.
Has he chosen
in
her?
all of Rashomon custom.
Wicklaren? Minsc, I am not your witch. You are not my bodyguard. This is not some high lodge of your homeland.
Boo agrees you're a queer kind of witch. But this city is a queer place. And Minsc, you may have noticed, is sometimes strange himself. The titles matter not. Only this. When Minsc does as Minsc does, and charges in to make a mess, Jaheira does as Jaheira does, and finds a way to save us all anyway.
I suppose there's some twisted logic at play there.
Is there? Wonderful. Another Minsc in the making.
Oh, you know me better than that,
Not
Jaheira.
without a companion, I'm afraid. Boo will ask some of his sewer-dwelling friends.
I am
really?
your friend, Ranger. I am not your witch. There will be no ointments or healing balms.
Not even for Boo?
Jaheira is ultimately right, I have to say. I'm not trying to side with Minsc here. Although he is starting to endear himself to me. His simple ways of thinking. Jaheira.
I think you might have made a terrible, terrible mistake. Huh? Chasing rumor halfway around the city and back. Crossing the guild. Wading through filth. Defying the one creature upon whom your very life depends. All for a madman and his rodent. It was no mean feat to make nice with the sourest puss in the city, by the way. It took years for Estelle and I to trust one another. The Absolute threatens thousands, the entire coast. And still you risked much to help one man. I should berate you, but...
You would have done the same thing.
I can only
Don't
say thank you.
Come on.
Your reasons were your own. But whether you meant for it or not, your fight is our fight, huh? Both of us. To the very end.
Now I know why Grandmother spent so much time together with Jaheira in her younger years, and still remain friends today. Minsc will be an asset, I'm sure.
He is an ass. I can make no promises beyond that. But even so, lead the way. We're yours to command.
I want to ask you something.
Ask it.
Anything more you can tell me? I think I've asked you everything that there's nothing more. Minsc?
My friend. Now we have settled the matter of the guild. I fear there is something I must tell you.
Please don't tell me you love me too.
You and Boo both. It may shock you both to know, but Minsc and this Stone Lord, they are one man. The same one man.
Minsc, we figured that out weeks ago.
That same one man is Minsc.
I'm aware you tried to kill me multiple times.
Never has Boo been more proud of my failures. I wish to believe the Stone Lord's evil was the worm alone, attainting my thoughts with foul dung. But I see now, the dung was within Minsc all along.
It's the tadpole and the control of the
So I
absolute.
wonder, if Minsc can be a villain, and Nine Fingers a hero, Must it be so with all creatures? Is there good and evil within us all? Boo calls this nonsense. Less thinking of bad thoughts, says he, and more breaking of bad bones. But still, I would hear what you have to say on the matter, my friend.
What I have to say might be a little more complex than what you can understand, Minsc. Everyone has the potential for good, it's just buried deeper in some, or lost along the way. Hope that's simple enough for him.
It is strange. A worm sits within my skull, twisting my thoughts. But it is you that have made Minsc see the world anew. You, my friend, are the true parasite. There is good and evil in all. Let us go crack villainous skulls, so that the virtue might leak free. Yes, Boo. I am becoming something of a philosophizer.
Philosophizer. When our minds mingled, I saw some strange things.
Well, the mind of Minsc is a simple place. Of what strangeness do you speak?
The memories resurface. A lifetime of battles blurring into one. A single constant is Minsc, launching into the fray no matter the foe, be they god, monster, or man. It seems just the barest glimpse of what the man before you has seen and done, but enough to know that he has no right to still be alive.
Ah, wait! That look in your eye. I know exactly what visions of Minsc you have seen to cause you such wonder.
How are you still alive?
My pants. Thrice laced, in the Rashomar style, so that a berserker might split skulls without fear of splitting breeches too. They are fiendishly complex, but
You're
fear
talking about
not
the dance.
for Minsc. With training, he has learned to master the many little knots.
Never mind your pants, you've walked between planes and fought gods.
Well, as have you, no?
Not the
Do
god.
not forget that when you gaze into Minsc, Minsc also gazes into you. We both fight evil, wherever it is found. The who and where are less important than the hamsters you meet along the way.
Okay.
On this matter of sharing memories, I see no reason for us to worry at one another's worms. If there is more we wish to know, we can simply ask, no?
Well, I suppose so. Don't shy away from... No, I don't even want to encourage use of it. I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were uncomfortable with our new power.
Is it power? True, it has made Minsc strong. Boo can scarcely get comfortable, so firm has my physique grown. But what does the parasite take in return? It is a horror wrapped in honey.
I thought Orpheus,
Stay
everything.
your sweet tooth, says Boo.
You're quick to call me friend.
Of course, my friend. Or are we not friends?
There hasn't been much time to look for friendship in all this.
Boo never looks to give me fleas. Sometimes you just pick these things up along the path. Now, does Boo see a question in your eye, or just a parasite poking through?
Answer me honestly, what's with the hamster?
Well, Boo, explain yourself.
I don't read... Can't... Well,
Clear enough?
I could if I cast a spell to speak to animals. Maybe I should. Maybe I can get something out of Boo. I suppose, enough joking. Does the hamster actually speak to you?
There is nothing jestful in the bond between a ranger and his companion. Before Boo, I was a typical berserker of Rashomon. Duty-bound and full of my own seriousness. The problem with one so gazing of their navel, however, they are easily ambushed. Brigands split my skull like a sodden wineskin.
Oof.
It was as I recovered that Boo first appeared. He told me that I had felt the great poking finger of justice, marking Minsc as its champion and Boo as my guide. As for the headache, well, justice cannot always afford to be gentle.
So you're a paladin of justice?
Do not be ridiculous. If any of us is chosen by the gods, it is obviously Boo. Now, shall we away? My boots crave the crunch of unvirtuous nethers.
I'd like to know a little more about you. You called yourself Naideshka before. What does that mean?
It is a phrase in the old tongue of Rashomon, meaning blunt blade. Even in the very belly of their battle rage, a berserker must always know friend from foe. A berserker who cannot must into battle with a blunted sword, so that their rage might harm none but themselves.
Okay. You're still fighting for your cause a century after you began. Don't doubt yourself now.
Boo and I, we thank you for your kind words, my friend. But Minsc knows when he has made a mess that is for him and him alone to clean. Fear not. This blunt blade will be whetted once more, on as many culty butts as he can reach.
Okay, then. I see. I think we have all the allies that we can get before the final fight. This is it. The last rest before the big battle. I assume so, at least anyways. My party is set. We're all together. I have my armor and equipment all on. I took away that, what was it? Let's see. This resonance stone, because it makes you susceptible to psychic attack, which we will be under around the Elder Brain. Alright, Duke Alder Ravengard, are you not going to...
Hail!
Maybe he's waiting. Waiting for when the Elder Brain is done. Alright then, that's everything. That's all we need. Let's leave. Wonder if there's something new in the paper. Right there. Where's that boy? Here he is. Anything new?
Again, Squire? Fancy a copy of today's edition?
Squire, huh? Sure, why not?
Have a gander at that. Come back tomorrow if you fancy fresh news.
Grave robbery, sacrilegious scourge, or reasonable reclamation? Was that to us? Are vampires real? Patriarch says no. Oh, this is just trying to catch up to us. Missing cat found sleeping in tiny box. Oh? Sing along with sea shanties at the Blushing Mermaid. Pound your mug in time with chanting jolly tars. The Fist recruits. Only you can protect Baldur's Gate. Nothing about Orin. I didn't think so. How would they know? Anyways, it's time to go face the Elder Brain.
The real tragedy here is the Baldur's
Wow, it's all done, I believe. Just the end battle with the Elder Brain, and I suppose the completion of all my companions' final decisions and story, and after that a long epilogue about all the choices I've made. Of which I have made a few mistakes along the way, especially with the Deep Gnomes and some of the Tiefling allies. Mostly all in Act 2. In my other playthrough, I saved them all. Well, I actually was really considering reloading the error in my part in Act 1 at the time when the Deep Gnome was flung off the windmill to his death, but I decided to leave it as it is, and go with my mistake. Adds more flavor to the game. Adds more flavor to the story. I also missed the Elder Stock in the Underdark since I blew it up, and saving all the prisoners in Act 2, and as well as saving Rowan from going off and getting himself killed as well. In this original blind playthrough, those are the biggest mistakes I've made, I believe. The part with siding with the Wave Servants versus Redhammer is debatable. Yes, I am sorry, Myra, I know that you are a big fan of Umberlee, and if I could redo that part again, I would. Just for your sake. And no, I'm not being sarcastic, I actually really mean it. Another one of my regrets. But since it's already done, again, it's just one of those things that I'll have to live with within my story that I presented here. My very imperfect story. Siren has nothing against the Wave Servants or Umberlee. Remember, he really liked Callan in their relationship about 10 years previously. He grew to know that they are a necessary evil that you have to deal with as a sailor. In his mind, no one crosses Umberlee, not if you want to go into the water again. Until the last episode, which I hope I can fit into one, and if not, I'll split it up into 2. Thanks for watching. Take care.
Shining star of my